join us for a new product, and today it's in the way of the new Mini Advanced Car Eye 3.1. So we've installed the 3.0 Pro before. This is the 3.1 version. There's quite a few carried over elements to the new camera system, and there's also some new features as well. So one of the big things is there's no screen on the 3.1, which in a way I quite like, more slimline. But there's a few other features which I think will be quite good to see in person, which is now a 3K camera on the front. It's running on 60 frames per second versus 30 beforehand. It's also a 5 megapixel camera versus 3.6 from memory before. It's a wider angle lens, so it means you're going to capture more in the car. And with this being a non-pro version, no screen, no GPS and no voice control. So we're going to get this installed. This is our latest development car, the Mini F66 JCW. Ethan from Sytner got in touch and said, look, we've got a new camera for you guys. Get this one installed, let us know what you think. So here it is. This 3.1 has only been available for the matter of the last couple of days. So we're probably one of the very first people to get this kit. So we're going to get it in the car. I'm then going to review it, tell you my honest opinion. We've already, as I said, installed a lot of these. If you check some of the older videos for some of the previous models that we've installed. But we're going to get this installed on the car. We're going to give you some idea on dry footage, wet footage and nighttime footage, so we can give you a real life simulation on what this looks like in use. So we're going to get it installed now, and I'll speak to you shortly once it's all in, hopefully all okay, and give you a few ideas about some of the features and what may or may not be required. Only thing to note at this point, it may or may not need coding. We're going to check on that. BMW say that potentially it may, some cars might. So we're going to check that out and report back to you guys. So let's get into this one. See you shortly. Right, so we're out on the road, and first off we've got some daytime daylight, rare for the UK, and footage as a whole is really crisp, very, very clear. Even when you've got some shadows here on the roundabout, you can still see everything's really clear. Moving to the back camera, I can still see the number plate on the car behind. Watch out for the cyclist there. It's still very clear. That's what's important. More than anything, look at the way that JCW pulls away from the Mercedes there. Absolute powerhouse. Nighttime footage, again, number plates are important here, so we can see the number plate quite clear on the car on the left and the van in front. It's managing to cope with street lights and tail lights and so on. This is dry at night time, still really good. If we switch over to the rear here, you can still see just about the number plate on the van on the right hand side. It's good. It does struggle a little bit getting blinded by the light, but you can just about make out the number plates there, but still crisp. This is now daytime, but bit rainy, overcast, standard UK conditions. Again, it's very, very clear. It's able to react to the windscreen wipers. It's just as a whole able to record quite crisply. Rear end footage here. Again, it's a little bit grainy. That's my only reservation here. You also can see at the bottom of the camera, that's my dog's tail, because he's actually in the boot at the moment. That gives you a bit of an idea of that type of footage. Right, watch this guy on the right. What an absolute melon. That's a standard NG driver for you, deciding to cut me up This is the exact reason why you have dash cam footage, so you can dob these guys in. Only thing to note there, lights were strobing a little bit with the rain, but as a whole, really, really good. So a little bit of an overview for you there. So I've actually had this dash cam installed now for a little while, just over a month, and you would have seen some of the footage already of the daytime footage as well as nighttime footage. That will give you a little bit of an idea what it's capable of. And I thought I'd take this opportunity now, want to talk a little bit about the usability of the app, what you can actually achieve by that, and also my experience having had this in the car now for probably about a month and a half. And as a whole, pretty pleased with it. It seems to work really nicely. No real glitches or bugs. Seems to operate pretty well. Not had any problems with it whatsoever. So let's talk about the actual usability of the dashcam itself and the app, which I'm going to do a little screen grab on, and that's going to be overlaid. So in terms of the dashcam itself, very minimalistic. There's not a load to it. You've got SD card slot on the right hand side, power button on the top, which gives you some lights at there as well, which means recording as well as signal. And it's just, yeah, gives you a bit of an indication of what's going on. And you've got some extra additional buttons here if you've got specifics with recording the footage or any overlays with that, Bluetooth and so on. So in terms of the actual app, let's go through this. I'm just going to do a quick screen grab. Right, what you guys will be able to see is the actual app itself working. So you have the main part, which is live view. So this is very good when you're obviously trying to set the camera up itself, and you can see front view as well as rear view. So we're in the workshop right now. It's a little bit wet and miserable, but this will give you an idea of what you can actually see. You can actually take photos and videos live directly whilst you're viewing, which I don't really see the point in doing that, but at least it means specifically when you're doing setup work, it makes life a little bit easier. You do have a recording section at the bottom there, so if you click on that, that will showcase the recordings. It is a little bit slow and glitchy now and again, the actual app and how it works, so it will take a little bit of time, but you can see a little bit of parking mode as well as driving into work this morning during some of the floods, which has been good fun. You can then also download and go into them and do what you would like with that particular bit of footage. You can favorite them and so on and replay it. So as I said, a little bit slow when you're doing it, but that's obviously me just walking around while setting the car up. But you've got a couple options. You can pause it, fast forward it, and check out any particular bit of footage you might want to grab that potentially has been if someone's doing something around your car that they should not be. In terms of setup work, you've got camera recordings, volume in general, pretty self-explanatory really. For the most part, there's not much that you would tend to change. Just make sure that HDR is on as well as night vision. It does make it a little bit crisper and clearer. You've also got brightness settings as well, which I tend to leave those where they are. You don't really need to change those. But maybe if you're in slightly different countries where it's brighter or darker, it might be worth doing. Going into the recording settings, you've got the usual G-force sensor, which again, it's only purely for when you're either driving, going over bumps, it might pick up and ping of an incident, as well as when it's in parking mode as well, how sensitive it is. Generally speaking, I would have the sensitivity on the lower end when driving, just purely because if you go over bumps, it will just ping away. So that can be something that's worth noting. Usual volume, guidance and bits and pieces for the actual dashcam itself, as well as the system settings. I quite like the security LED being on. Just shows people if they're walking past your car whilst it's on the street that it is actually recording. Just a nice bit of peace of mind. So a fairly minimalistic app. There's not loads to it, but for the most part, it works pretty well and functions pretty well. Signal here is not great. And yet it's still quite reactive to things that I would like it to do. So for the most part, that wraps up this video. I don't think there's a great deal more to discuss on the app itself. The actual dashcam, as I said, functions really nicely. I think it's very well priced considering this is a twin camera setup. I also like the fact it's much more minimalistic as well. So some people might like the screen. Personally, it's a nice gimmick to have, but you'll find that after time you'll never use it. So set it up and fit and forget really, and hopefully you never have to go into the app to pull down footage. So for the most part, that wraps things up here. If you've got any questions, let us know. But that was an install here at Carbonwurks, probably one of the first for this particular dash cam. I hope that's been insightful. If you do have any questions or experiences, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you guys. But until next time, thanks for watching. See you soon.